We believe that the truth is what makes us free, and if ignorance is the cause of pain and suffering, and education, if you will, is the end of pain and suffering. So we were teaching. But we were teaching designed towards practical mysticism. We were teaching that is designed to move us with the intellect, beyond the intellect, to the experience of the divine. This is what the Hindus call walking the razor's edge, using the intellect to get beyond the intellect. That's what we're trying to do here. Trying to understand through logic and reason that which cannot be understood by logic and reason. But once logic and reason accepts the possibility, then we can experience it. As long as logic and reason denies the possibility, we will never experience it. Does that make any sense whatsoever? If you don't believe it's going to happen, it's never going to happen. If you believe it can happen, then at least you're open to the possibility of it happening. Why is this so? We want to think about this. Self-esteem, let's kind of talk about that for just a minute. Self-esteem in its essence is, what do you believe about yourself? What regard do you hold yourself? If you go to the dictionary, if you take a look up self-esteem, in what regard do you hold yourself in? There's something wrong with that. Immediately it talks about self-conceit. It was like, boom. I didn't have to go off the page on the internet. I typed in self-esteem. It said self-esteem is a very high regard of oneself. See self-conceit. In our society, self-esteem has a negative connotation. In our society, to be concerned with self-esteem is somehow perceived to be selfish, self-serving, conceited, trying to put yourself up higher than the rest. And it's very important that we understand where that limitation came from so we can let it go. Just so we can let it go. We don't have to resist it, but we have to replace it. We have to move beyond it. We have to transcend it. So we have to understand then, why is it that over the years this idea of self-esteem or thinking of yourself in a better light was played down by society and religion as it was? And what we want to talk about is the evolution of human consciousness. And you've heard me talk about this before, but as our consciousness grows, as human consciousness grows, it goes through phases. It goes through certain phases. And what makes sense at one phase makes absolutely no sense at another phase. Absolutely not. It doesn't even exist. But when you're in there, in the midst of it, it is completely real. And it makes perfectly good sense. And these ideas that we are talking about that says it is selfish or self-serving or conceited to be concerned with self-esteem comes from that level of consciousness that doesn't even understand what it is.